The lion moved closer, mouth wide open, showing sharp teeth that shone in the sunlight. But my great-grandfather, Chibuike, stood tall, his eyes fixed on the lion with brave determination. The lion let out a loud roar that shook the ground. With confidence, Chibuike raised his staff and shouted loudly, his voice strong and fierce. Then, in one quick motion, he swung his staff and hit the lion on the face with a hard crack.
Kwambasi, a beautiful village with lush green fields and tall trees. The sun shines brightly as busy people work on farms and manage shops in the marketplace. Ubuwe, the storyteller, sat in the busy market square, his eyes shining bright as he spoke. He looked into the faces of his listeners, who were all paying close attention, as if they could see the scene happening right in front of them. Caught up in his exaggerating tales once again.
Realizing it had met a true opponent, it curled its tail and ran back to the forest to save his life.
Ubuwe spoke with pride, and with a smile on his face, he retrieved a necklace from his bag. The necklace gleamed with a strong brass chain. At its center, a magnificent round lion head-shaped pendant, shining with a strong beauty that caught everyone's eye.
The king of Ndeshi had gifted him this necklace to honor his bravery,
Ubuwe said, displaying the necklace to everyone. The listeners all gazed at the necklace with intrigue as he showed it to them. After a brief show-off, Ubuwe put the necklace back in his bag, rose to his feet and said,
"All right, meet me here tomorrow, and I will tell you all how he killed a huge leopard with his bare hands."
Ubuwe walked with a prideful stride and a big smile as he headed towards his home. In the bustling market, Azu, a moneylender, is happily engaged in conversation with a shopkeeper, to whom he lends money. Once a poor honey collector, Azu had transformed his life through his cleverness and charm, eventually starting his own business in wild animal smuggling. He rose from rags to riches in no time. Known for his shrewdness, Azu had earned both wealth and the respect of the villagers, and few dared to argue with him. Meanwhile, Ubuwe was waving at someone with a big smile when suddenly his expression changed. He narrowed his eyes at Azu, his eyebrows twitching, as he stood a short distance away and listened to the conversation. Azu, the moneylender, was showing off his necklace, which was similar to the one Ubuwe had.
"Oh, this is really expensive. I bought it from a fancy gem dealer in the city."
Azu bragged, clearly enjoying the attention. Ubuwe felt a bit jealous. The necklace looked just like his own, which was a special family heirloom. After a brief conversation, Azu, the moneylender, said goodbye and walked away in the opposite direction. Ubuwe quickly followed him. When they got to the end of the market, Ubuwe shouted,
"Azu, wait, I need to talk to you right now."
Azu turned back, taken aback and slightly annoyed, as no one in the village dared to speak to him in that manner. He looked Ubuwe from head to toe with piercing eyes and asked in a serious and annoying tone,
What is it?
Ubuwe walked close to Azu and, looking both ways, asked,
Where did you get this necklace from?
Why do you want to know?
Azu replied suspiciously, staring straight into his eyes.
Don't get ahead of yourself, honey collector. You might be able to impress others with your flashy talk and the money you made unfairly, but to me, you're still just Azu, the honey collector. So, go ahead and take off that necklace right now.
Ubuwe said sarcastically.
But why?
Azu asked, intrigued.
Okay, what if I give you one of my goats? Will you then take off this necklace and swear never to wear it again?
With a thoughtful expression, Azu looked at Ubuwe and asked why he was so persistent about him not wearing the necklace. Ubuwe took out his so-called great-grandfather's necklace, showed it to Azu, and said,
Only brave people deserve to wear this.
Azu gazed at the necklace in surprise, noting its resemblance to his own. He asked,
Who did you say this necklace belonged to? And how did he get it?
Ubuwe, with his head held high in pride, narrated the story again, explaining how his great-grandfather Chibuike was honored by the king of Ndeshi for his bravery. However, Azu, being a big talker himself, did not believe a word of the story, but he kept quiet. After a moment of deep thought, he said,
But I have spent a lot on this necklace, so giving me only one goat is not a fair deal.
Ubuwe thought for a moment, while Azu looked at him with a sneaky smile. Finally, Ubuwe said,
Okay, I'll give you 2 of my goats, but you have to promise never to wear that necklace again.
Azu took off his necklace right then and said,
Here you go. I took off my necklace as promised. So let's get the goats now?
Ubuwe, the storyteller, walked ahead with a proud smile, while Azu, the moneylender, followed him to Ubuwe's house. The next day, Ubuwe came back to the busy market square. Excited listeners gathered around him, ready to hear his story. He began telling the tale of his great-grandfather and how he once captured a leopard with his bare hands.
My grandfather Chibuike grabbed the leopard and slammed it to the ground with a loud thud. He was so strong that the leopard didn't even know what hit it.
Ubuwe said, his eyes wide with excitement. The crowd listened closely, and Ubuwe raised his hand to show them how his great-grandfather wrestled with the leopard.
My brave grandfather took a rope and tied up the leopard. But
suddenly, Ubuwe stopped when he saw Azu in the crowd, looking at him with a sneaky smile. His expression changed from curiosity to anger when he noticed Azu wearing the necklace again. But this time, the lion pendant was turned backward. Ubuwe quickly grabbed his bag and said,
we'll continue tomorrow,
as he hurried over to Azu, who was walking toward a fruit shop.
How dare you break your promise, you honey thief!
Ubuwe exclaimed, feeling frustrated. Azu turned around and replied calmly,
Now don't get me wrong, Ubuwe. Nobody will notice the necklace. The lion is facing backward after all.
Ubuwe, fists clenched, demanded Azu take off his necklace right away or face the consequences.
Don't get upset, Ubuwe. You're just worried everyone will find out the secret of the necklace? But trust me, no one will know.
Azu said with a smirk. Seeing no other option to protect his grandfather's legacy, Ubuwe quickly said,
Okay, here's the deal. I'll give you one more of my goats, but you have to promise this time that you will never wear this necklace again.
Azu raised an eyebrow and asked,
One goat? Is that all it takes to get me to give up such a beautiful necklace?
Ubuwe nodded firmly.
Yes. Just think of it as a fair trade for something that doesn't belong to you.
Azu paused, pretending to think it over.
But make sure you give me a healthy goat this time. The first two you gave me are almost starving?
He took off the necklace again and smiled, trying to convince Ubuwe. But Ubuwe looked at him with sharp eyes and said,
This is your final warning, and you better keep your promise.
Then they both walked toward the end of the market to get the goat from Ubuwe's house. A few days passed, and life returned to normal for Ubuwe after his argument with Azu. As usual, Ubuwe found himself surrounded by curious listeners who had little to do. With a grin, he proudly displayed a peculiar-looking herb he called the Herb of Gods. As he held it up for everyone to see, he animatedly explained how smoking this herb would energize their bodies and fill them with courage. The crowd listened closely, captivated by his stories, imagining the courage and strength this magical herb could give them.
I want to buy that. How much does it cost?
A voice called out from the crowd.
It's not for sale.
Ubuwe replied, putting the herb back in his bag.
I'll pay whatever you want, Ubuwe.
The voice came again. This time, Ubuwe's expression changed as he recognized who it was. Azu stood tall in the crowd, wearing the necklace again, but this time with the chain of balls. He had cleverly removed the lion pendant, yet it still looked very much like Ubuwe's necklace. Ubuwe, feeling frustrated, quietly packed his bag and clenched his teeth as he repeated,
It's not for sale, Azu.
He walked home, still angry about Azu's boldness, after all the promises he made not to wear the necklace again. As the sun set, unable to shake off his feelings of betrayal, Ubuwe marched over to Azu's house and knocked hard on the door.
Hey, who's there? Are you trying to break my door?
Azu said as he opened the door. Seeing Ubuwe fuming with anger, Azu smiled calmly and acted as if he had no clue why Ubuwe was there.
What is it, Ubuwe? What do you want?
He asked, trying to play innocent.
Don't act smart with me, Azu. How dare you break your promise?
Ubuwe said, trying to keep his voice low so no one would hear them.
Let's be reasonable, Ubuwe. I promise not to wear the necklace with the lion pendant, but I only have the chain now, so no one can tell it's similar to yours.
Azu replied calmly. Ubuwe was losing his patience. He pounded on Azu's door and insisted,
I don't care if you wear the chain or not. Just give me that necklace right now.
Azu, known for his clever talk, replied,
Come on, Ubuwe. That's too much to ask. I promise I won't tell anyone about your great-grandfather's necklace. You can trust me, right?
Ubuwe was surprised. He didn't expect such an outrageous answer.
You've gone too far this time, Azu. Hand over the necklace now.
Ubuwe demanded.
Calm down, Ubuwe. I'm willing to give you my valuable necklace, but don't you think you're getting it too cheap?
Azu said with a smirk.
I've already given you 3 of my goats. What more do you want from me?
Ubuwe said, his eyes burning with anger. Azu pointed at the goats and said sarcastically,
Look at those. They're so thin and weak. They eat more than they should, so they cost me extra money.
Ubuwe felt a rush of guilt as he saw the sad-looking goats. After thinking for a moment, Ubuwe finally said,
Fine, I'll give you my last 2 goats. They're healthy, so you won't have to worry about them.
Oh, it's heartbreaking to let go of my precious necklace. For the sake of your grandfather's honor and legacy, I suppose I can agree to this price.
Azu said, pretending to be sad.
Hand me the necklace, and I'll bring you your goats tomorrow.
Ubuwe said firmly but quietly. Azu smiled and replied,
I have something important to do tomorrow, so I won't be home. How about you just give me the goats now, and I'll give you the necklace?
Okay, give me the necklace, and we'll get your goats now.
Ubuwe said firmly. Azu hurried inside and returned with just the brass chain, handing it to Ubuwe.
Wait, this is only the chain. Where's the lion's head pendant? Azu, stop tricking me, you honey thief.
Ubuwe's voice rose in anger.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's in my pocket. Here, take it, and now you have your necklace. I hope you're happy now.
Azu said sheepishly. Ubuwe, looking at the necklace, smiled with his head high in pride, said,
Don't ever mess with me, as I am from a family of warriors. You have to earn it, to wear it.
Soon both of them left in the dimly lit road towards Ubuwe's home to get the goats. As the sun rose and the market buzzed with people, Ubuwe laughed and chatted with villagers in his favorite spot. Feeling happy that his problems with Azu were finally over, he was in a good mood, enjoying the lively atmosphere of the market square. Suddenly, a familiar voice cut through the noise.
You can trust me, Tafari. These goats are top quality. Once you buy them, you'll see what a good deal you've made.
Ubuwe turned around and his heart raced when he saw Azu nearby selling goats to a villager. What shocked him even more was that Azu was wearing the same necklace again. After finishing his sale, Azu looked over at Ubuwe with a sneaky smile. That said it all. He strolled away, proudly displaying the necklace like a prize. Ubuwe felt helpless, unable to do anything as he watched Azu disappear into the crowd, knowing he had nothing left to bargain with.